Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV live on location in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as we just got back to our hotel room after experiencing an 8-hour endurance test brought to me by the WWE in the form of a WrestleMania show. It's good was pretty good, but it's shit was really shit and just stunk the whole night up to whole hell, and you know what I'm talking about, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the WrestleMania reaction show for WrestleMania 35. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. I am fucking exhausted. I am absolutely and completely drained right now. I don't even know how I am going to survive the next 2 days with Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. Welcome to the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's WrestleMania reaction show. We just got back, like I said, from a pretty good night. I'm not going to be so negative. I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, did I enjoy myself tonight? I did. I had a great time sitting in the crowd. Not because of the fucking idiot fans that were around me, but because it's WrestleMania. And you know, we talked about it. This is what the WWE banks on. People just wanting to feel special because you are at WrestleMania. And you don't have a choice but to feel that way. Because when you're sitting there and the lights are bright and you're in MetLife Stadium and they have that set up and the music is blaring and the graphics are doing their thing and it's just WrestleMania. 80,000 people coming together to watch the one show every year that we have been watching for the last 35 years. Did this show deliver? This show delivered. I would have to say this show delivered a bunch of dog shit because they knew what we wanted. The WWE gave us what we wanted, but decided to do so in a non-creative way. They didn't do anything exciting. They really didn't. They put this WrestleMania on the backs of these three women is really what they did. And then by the time we got to them, it was after fucking midnight. And even I almost didn't care at this point. I just wanted to get back to the hotel room. I've been sitting here for 8 hours. I've been watching half-ass wrestling because they kicked everything off with the Universal Championship match, which is something I was looking forward to seeing. You burned out Daniel Bryan and Kofi in the middle of the card. And then everything else that came after that, I didn't care. I didn't care. Their structuring of this show, as usual, is terrible, just like it is with Monday Night Raw. This could have been much better planned out. Now, I don't have a problem with Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar opening WrestleMania with a Universal Championship matchup, especially with the title changing hands tonight at WrestleMania. Fantastic decision, great way to get the crowd popped, keep that moment away from the other championships, and it did no harm. I'll even say that having Randy Orton and AJ Styles follow that match and be the second match of the night, maybe not the best decision in the world, but it was a great way to keep the momentum from the opening segment. Because the WWE had to redeem itself from that 2-hour pre-show full of absolute dog shit. Did you guys even watch the fucking pre-show? Did you? Because if you didn't, all you missed was a great Cruiserweight Championship match. And you already knew that because that's what the WWE does. They have no respect for 205 Live or its champion. And tonight you have a huge moment in the history of that show planned for that championship belt. And you don't have it on the main card. You have it as the opening match of a pre-show that nobody's watching. I was in my seat. Do you know how many other people in the arena were in their seat? Not even half. Maybe 1/3 if we're being generous about the size of the attendance of the crowd for that opening matchup. Absolutely terrible. And then you have the championship change hands and go to Tony Nese. I don't know why. I don't know why this decision was made. I know the kid's a solid talent. He's got potential. He can do great things in the ring, but champion? Just out of nowhere like that? I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with 205 as of late, especially in the last couple of weeks. I don't know how they got here, and I don't know why Tony Nese is our champion, other than the fact that maybe they're going to bring Buddy Murphy to another show, because we're going to have the shake-up soon. Maybe Buddy Murphy finds himself a home on SmackDown Live and can compete with the other guys. And I'd be fine with that. I would be absolutely fine with that. But that match tonight between Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy was another great championship match for the Cruiserweight title in a long line of great Cruiserweight championship matchups that get totally disrespected and swept under the rug by the WWE because they just don't care. But they care about these battle royals. Why throw these battle royals if they're not actually going to be on WrestleMania? Why are we having a women's battle royal if there's no anything special for the winner? You know, there's no reward. Nothing is won except the stupid friggin' vulva trophy with the 2 ovaries on the side. Who wants that? And what good did it do anybody last year? Didn't do nobody no good. Same can be said for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. When this was first announced, I thought it was a great idea, and I love that Andre the Giant was the namesake for this Battle Royal. And now, at this point, I fucking hate that Andre the Giant's name is attached to this Battle Royal. Braun Strowman is now a 2-time Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. But we all knew that this whole thing was nothing more than a joke. This Battle Royal going into it was nothing more than a joke, because you didn't have Braun Strowman talking about how he wanted to win this Battle Royal because of Andre the Giant or anything valid. You didn't have any other superstars talking about what winning the Andre the Giant Battle Royal means to them or anything special like that. You just threw it out there and made the main focus Saturday Night fucking Live. So much so that you decided when booking this match for WrestleMania that you're going to let these 2 clowns do what somebody is always going to do during a Battle Royal and hide under the ring and scare the shit out of everybody in MetLife, thinking that they were going to give the win to Michael Che and Colin Jost of Saturday Night Live. Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, the way the Hardys looked at the end of this thing was terrible. The 2 of them got eliminated by Braun Strowman, and the guy barely did anything to do it. They were on the outside of the ring, and he just simply shoved the 2 of them off after he kicked Dickin' Doc Nutley from Saturday Night Live. He kicked them both away like a fucking mule, and then he pushed the Hardys off the edge. And now they were gone. And now it's come down to Braun Strowman versus these 2 jokes from Saturday Night Live. And this is WrestleMania. Do you know who else was in that Battle fucking Royal? And you got the last 3 competitors: Braun Strowman, Michael Che, and Colin Jost. And I'm supposed to be okay with that. I wanted to throw up in my seat, but it would have been disrespectful to the guy sitting in front of me. Not that everybody there gave a shit about any of that. You know, I always get to sit with fucking fans that are just weird. And I'm not talking about the 2 fucking autistic twin duo that was next to me. They weren't actually twins. They were just these 2 kids. They were autistic. So I'm not going to really talk about how annoying they were to me, but the thing that makes me have to bring them up is the fact that these were 2 autistic children teasing each other about being autistic, and it was like being stuck in a fucking Groundhog Day. Like, they're both picking on each other for having the same problem. Is that like come from the rock? I don't know, but that's the fans I had over here. And then over here, I had 2 fucking fans with 2 friends of theirs, so that would be 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. I'm very tired. It's after 2 in the morning. Please bear with me. And the 4 of them together probably needed about 12 seats in order to really sit comfortably. And this guy sitting next to me, like, do you know how much the food is? Do you know how much the food is at a fucking WrestleMania? You got $13 fucking Philly cheesesteaks about the size of this fucking microphone. Get a $10 hot dog. Bags of fucking peanuts. $8. And this guy's sending his girl to the snack bar. And he's coming back with like 1 of everything. It's like he had no choice but to say, like, well, what do you do? What do you do to afford this, because well, of course it wasn't just one. They had to come over. They both had chicken fingers and fries, and then this guy sends his girl for popcorn. Oh, I didn't try the fucking Dippin' Dots. Get me some Dippin' Dots, honey. Not like we can't get them anywhere else. Oh wait, they got fucking coffee over there. Get me a fucking coffee too. Are you fucking kidding me? Did you have to eat one of everything? Nachos, and then he had to have a burger, and every time they gotta get fucking up and down, and then in and out of the fucking row, and up and down, and up and down. And these two dopey kids are just fighting with each other next to me. Unbelievable. Why can't I ever sit with fans that are like me? Fans that just want to yell and scream and have a good time. I'm the one fucking guy in the whole place that's surrounded by deadheads. I don't get it. I don't get it. But that seems to be my curse. Whenever I go, I get to be sat in the boring section. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's my karma. I have to be surrounded by the people that annoy me the most. It even happened to me at NXT. When we went to NXT TakeOver, if you guys remember, I said, you know, I didn't expect to not be sitting around people that don't understand wrestling. I got this kid sitting next to me. He's asking me, not me, God forbid he asked me a question, because but he's asking his friend or fucking whoever, this other kid with him, if Jeff Hardy is Sting. He's going, oh, who's that, Sting? Like, Sting? What? Little fan tangent, a little fangent going on there, because I where are you guys? Where are the real fans? They can't be the ones spending $4,000 sitting fucking ringside. I'll tell you that much. We were in the fucking cheap seats. I was right on the 50-yard line in the 300 section, and I had a view that was spectacular. Lots of the fans that were there were chanting because they couldn't see. Because a very common theme that's been happening with WWE pay-per-views as well is they're putting lights in people's eyes. I know this firsthand from when I went to a fucking regular show at the Barclays. It was nothing special. It was no pay-per-view. It was just a house show. And my friends and I sat there with a big giant fucking spotlight in our face, and we couldn't see shit. So I felt for all of you guys in the WrestleMania crowd who couldn't see because of the yellow lighting. Finally, they did take care of that, though. It was a pretty funny moment. I mean, we had the crowd into the show for the most part, but 2 times on the night we broke out into the wave. And I can give you a guess at the 2 matches that it happened in. Roman and Drew and Triple H and Batista. Nobody really gave a fuck about either one of these 2 matchups. And I want to ask you guys straight off the bat, why the fuck is it only Triple H and Dave Batista that got really super special entrances tonight? And Finn Balor. Isn't WrestleMania supposed to be when everybody gets a cool entrance? Right? No, but you got fucking Batista being brought out there by the 2 black sedans like he's a fucking mafia hitman. And then you got Triple H coming out in some weird fucking motor car. Again. All kinds of special videos. I'm like, let's bring the fucking runtime down, you guys. We don't need all this fucking pomp and circumstance. All I needed was to fucking hear the opening chord to his theme song and watch him walk out. I don't need all this extra for a guy like Triple H. You know who needs extra? Guys that nobody gives a shit about. They need a little extra help getting the crowd involved at their entrance at WrestleMania. A guy like Finn Balor definitely needs it. Triple H and Batista, giving them a special entrance. Well, in Triple H's case, every single time he's at WrestleMania, he's the only one that gets the glorified entrance. They want to film a vignette of Charlotte Flair flying around in a fucking helicopter like her father, as if she was supposed to land in the middle of MetLife Stadium. Well, it would have been impressive if that's exactly what you did, but it wasn't impressive because all the fucking show long we got helicopters flying around. Right, we see helicopters flying around MetLife the whole fucking night long. But when this live shot of Charlotte Flair in the chopper circling which they show circling MetLife Stadium, is nowhere to be fucking seen to those of us in MetLife Stadium. And all of you guys at home are like, oh, look, she's probably really in that thing. Right? You probably thought, oh, look, they're circling MetLife Stadium with Charlotte Flair, and she's landing in the parking lot, and she's going to walk. No, bro. No. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. I realize now that I was looking at myself in this fucking mirror. I'm glad that I don't have a mirror like this in my bedroom, or in my studio rather, because I'd be looking at that instead of looking at the camera like I should be, and I apologize. But sometimes it is what it is. This review is going off the rails fast. I hope you guys are still with me, and I hope you're enjoying it, because it has gotten way out of control way too quickly, and that's probably because it is, like I said, very late at night. I have been put through the ringer as far as wrestling goes this whole entire week. I've been killing myself with pro wrestling. We've been to House of Glory, we've been to the G1, and now we did WrestleMania, all in the course of 48 hours. Actually less. In about 36 hours time, I did all 3 of those shows, which is absolutely fucking crazy, and I'm probably not ever going to do anything like this again, because I'm just exhausted. And we have, we are in a hotel room tonight, so we have to be respectful, so I'm not like screaming my craziness like you guys all normally know me to do, and I'm trying to keep it reined in, and that's because we need to be respectful of other people. Let's get this fucking review over with. We're talking about 17 fucking matches. Are we really talking about them? Are we really talking about them? I fucking wrapped up the pre-show, didn't I? I talked about the 2 fucking Battle Royals. Who gives a shit? And we had the Tag Team Championships. The Tag Team Championship match, The Revival versus Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, pushed to the pre-show so that the hometown clowns can win. They finally won. Kurt Hawkins hasn't fucking won a match in 1,000 matches. Zack Ryder hasn't even been on TV in over 1,000 days. And these two come out and win the championships. Great. Who gives a fuck? This match deserved to be on the pre-show because it was made about 2 days ago. Nobody knew about it. Nobody cared about it. And it made absolutely no sense. But now we have new champions. Not what I thought was going to happen. But it's what happened. Absolutely ridiculous. After the match, these 2 clowns went all crazy, celebrating New York. Bleh. Carmella wins. She's from New York. Bleh. The Oscar fucking... I was going to call it the Oscar Battle Royal. Oh my god, the Women's Battle Royal had so many possibilities there. And you turned it to shit. With Carmella winning it. Braun Strowman wins the Men's Battle Royal, and it means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The rest of the show was okay. Starts off with the Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar, and the WWE does what we wanted them to do. Finally, Brock Lesnar has been unseated. The Beast has been slain. They have spoiled it for everybody by releasing that t-shirt 3 weeks ago. They've made it pretty clear that this was going to be the comeuppance of Brock Lesnar with him leaving and going back to the UFC. It took Seth Rollins 3 curb stomps to put out the Beast Brock Lesnar, and we had a new Universal Champion in Seth Rollins. The best part of that whole thing was Paul Heyman's face. Paul Heyman's face was fucking priceless, and it was something that I'm sure they're going to show over and over on WWE TV, and it was fucking great. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. This match went on for a bit. Probably could have been a little bit shorter, but at the end of the day, all that matters is your winner is AJ Styles. They did a couple of interesting things. I like that AJ Styles was smart enough to lure Randy Orton in as Randy was setting up to hit that RKO multiple times. AJ Styles kind of baited him into it by going up to the top rope to execute the phenomenal forearm and then jumping back down to the ring apron. Randy Orton would pull the trigger on a move that he wouldn't be able to execute, only to be followed up by that phenomenal forearm, and it was pretty fucking cool to see AJ Styles with a big time win over a big time guy like Randy Orton at a WrestleMania for once. Congratulations to AJ Styles. After this, for absolutely no reason, bam, 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 we do it quietly. with a new hat. Just like that, bitch. Cares. She fucking came out at WrestleMania. You knew she was going to. I thought she was going to interrupt Elias, but apparently she just came out for nothing. We got to go to fucking almost 12:30 at night tonight because Lacey Evans has got to strut her shit. Unnecessary. Fatal 4-way for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles. Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Bar versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus the Usos. And the Usos had a 25% chance of retaining their championships in this matchup. Probably even less when you want to consider the fact that two of these teams have, respectively, Rusev and Shinsuke, and then Ricochet and Aleister Black, which is just... And then you have The Bar. Like, so what were the chances the Usos were going to win this thing? This was a very good tag team matchup. The Usos do good tag team matchups. That's their thing. That's why they are the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. And that's why they are still your SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. I'm not being attacked by ghosts, I swear. Don't get alarmed if you see this fucking thing going. I got the window open. Alright, so I got a nice breeze going through here. It's a little stuffy in here, so don't worry. This isn't like some creepy fucking behind my back spirit thing. What is happening? What is happening with this review right now? It's the biggest review of the year. It's WrestleMania, baby. I'm exhausted. We gotta be quiet, so this is the review you guys are getting. This was a great tag team matchup, and I think it was a very big surprise to me. I know it was a surprise, and to the rest of the crowd, that the Usos would walk into this thing with the straps and walk out, remaining the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. We forgot to talk about Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss doing absolutely nothing. She introduced Hulk Hogan for no reason. I'm not going to lie. I'm 41 years old. I'm standing there at WrestleMania 35, and Hulk Hogan's music is playing. And I gotta tell you, I teared up. I got teared up. I got choky. I got the bumps. You know what I mean? The goose pimples. Whatever you want to call them. They got me. They got me good. And I almost started crying at WrestleMania because it's just a crazy thing to feel that again. I never really even seen Hogan at WrestleMania in my childhood. I went to WrestleMania 10. That was the only other WrestleMania I've ever been to. So it was crazy to see Hulk Hogan at a WrestleMania. It's just something nostalgic. But other than that, what was the point? To have Alexa pose in with him and doing all the thing? I'd rather see her doing other kinds of poses with some less clothes on. I don't need to see this. Runtime, people. Runtime. Anyway, Falls Count Anywhere. Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I didn't like this match going into this thing, and I didn't like this match coming out of it. Because WWE just gave us what we knew we were going to see. The Miz was going to win, Shane McMahon was going to do something crazy to almost end his life, and that was going to be the end of it, and that's what they did. 100% what you expected, as with everything else. But another reason I really didn't enjoy this match is because I couldn't fucking see it. I couldn't see it. I didn't go to MetLife to fucking watch TV, guys. If I wanted to put my eyes on a fucking big screen, I would be sitting at home. I wouldn't be here in East Rutherford at the fucking extended stay suites across the street from the MetLife Stadium. I would be fucking home in front of my 60 plus. But no. I gotta sit in the MetLife Stadium. I can't see a fucking thing, and I gotta watch on these 5 other screens all around me. But The Miz, finding his way up to the top of the scaffolding, taking Shane McMahon with him, and superplex Shane McMahon off of the top. And Shane McMahon, surprisingly enough, was in the position to get the win because he was actually on top of The Miz as the referee made the count. It was not the other way around, as most people in the crowd probably thought. At one point, Shane McMahon went one-on-one with Georgie Miz. Georgie Miz. George Mizanin. WrestleMania. In the middle of the ring. Squaring up with Shane McMahon. Okay? Anyway, this served its purpose. It got The Miz motivated enough. to attack, and then it did nothing because The Miz lost at WrestleMania to the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Speaking about, right? You want to talk about the Boston connection? Fucking failed. You want to talk about fail? The WWE Women's Tag Team titles are now failures. They are just about as useless as the Universal Champion. They are worth as much as a fucking Hershey's candy bar. For you to win these championships and then lose them so quickly, especially when you are two of the most touted women's wrestlers of all time, I don't understand how you don't give Sasha and Bayley an extended reign. Make them take on all comers. Make the tag team championships look great. Make them look like something worth having. So that when you do decide to give it to the Iconics, like you do tonight at WrestleMania, it means something. What does it mean that the Iconics have these championships? It means nothing. It means nothing because those belts haven't meant shit yet. There has not been one great title defense. There has not been a string of mediocre title defenses. There has not been enough time passing from the time they won the belts to this day at WrestleMania for it to mean a goddamn thing. Well, I know some of you guys out there, especially, I know that some of you love those Iconics, alright? And I know that you were all marking out when the Iconics won that fucking championship. But I wasn't. All I could think of is now the tag team championships for the women's division is another failed WWE experiment. After this, we go to the WWE title match. While I am appreciative that the WWE Championship is finally featured above and over the Universal Championship being this far up in the card, when we still haven't seen Corbin and Angle, and we still hadn't seen Balor and Lashley, or Triple H and Batista, and you're telling me all of those things you thought were more important than the crowning of Kofi Kingston as the new champion? I understand you can't do it right next to the actual main event, but if you would have put it a little bit further down the card, I just think it would be a lot more respectful, and it probably would have gotten a lot more momentum from the crowd. I feel like being live is different, you guys. I know you guys were listening to something completely different, but I could tell you firsthand, just from being there, that it's hard to even chant as a fan at a WrestleMania because the sound just goes away. And by the time what happens in the ring makes it all the way up to section 300, and you realize, oh yeah, they're saying let's go Rollins or whatever it is, by the time you start saying it, the echo's hitting you back and you're just all out of sync and it just sounds like mess. And it's hard. It's hard to do as a fan. But the fans did absolutely dig the fact that Kofi Kingston got to defeat Daniel Bryan clean win. And it was a lot of fun. And the moment I thought was definitely going to happen, if it wasn't going to happen now, it was never going to happen for Kofi Kingston, so they had to pull that trigger. Do not be surprised if he loses this belt in 2 days. Do not be surprised at all if SmackDown Live there's a rematch and Daniel Bryan wins it back. He's had his WrestleMania moment, just like Zack Ryder did at WrestleMania 30 with the Intercontinental Championship, and then he just put it right back to where it belongs. And that's probably what's going to happen here. We have them celebrating at the end. Kofi brings his kids in. They have a gift, right? They give Kofi a gift. They open it up. It's a fucking t-shirt. How bad has this company gotten that they are trying to sell you shit now in their segments of celebration? You like that? Huh? Because I didn't. I don't appreciate being shilled merchandise when I'm trying to be happy and celebrate and relax. Well, I wouldn't say relax. after I just won a championship. I don't want to be selling you guys anything. Wouldn't be right. We see Alexa Bliss backstage apologizing to the two dips from Saturday Night Live, and this whole segment was just to show off how Kevin Nash and Scott Hall got really fucking old and fake looking. So I didn't appreciate any of that. This next matchup was a surprise, a huge fucking surprise to me. Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe, which many people questioned where it was even happening. Rey Mysterio got beat by Samoa Joe in record time for a Rey Mysterio match, I want to say. Samoa Joe just easily handling him, knocking him in the coquina clutch, and then passing out Rey Mysterio. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, nobody gave a fuck about. People were too busy doing the wave during this matchup. I certainly wasn't paying attention. It doesn't mean anything to me. It's had about 3 or 4 weeks of build, and all it is low road type bullshit. Oh, you beat leukemia, but you'll never beat me. Don't make your family suffer, Roman Reigns. Who cares? If you didn't know that Roman Reigns was going to win this match, you're out of your mind. And why does Roman Reigns get so much fucking pyro? In a time when there's no pyro, and I was appreciative of having pyro back in my wrestling shows, this guy got a fucking pyro blast for every fucking move he made. They blasted off when he came out. They blasted off when they got to the ring. He went to the top turnbuckle. He gets a whole nother set of fucking blast-offs. Roman's back. And he's okay. Then he wins the match, and we get more. There's no fucking titles. What are we celebrating? It's just a fucking regular match. Are you fireworks for fucking Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin and every other fucking schmuck on the roster? No. Well, Kurt Angle, yeah, obviously. But you get the point. He's the only one that had like 3 different times with fucking fireworks. It's ridiculous. Elias comes out. He played in a 3-man band by himself. This is the best they got. They had him split screened on the Mega Jumbo Titantron stage, and then he was playing along with a video on guitar live in the ring. Who really gives a shit about any of this? And then what happens? We get John Cena. John Cena coming out, but it's not John Cena that you can't see. It's John Cena word life, basic thugonomics. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Is he having a nervous breakdown because Nikki Bella ain't bouncing her ass on his cock anymore? Like, what is happening? Is he finally gonna go heel? I don't think so. Is this a once in a blue moon thing he did for WrestleMania? Maybe. The guy did say he was turning heel in his little promo. But I wasn't sitting there laughing and enjoying it or whatever. I felt bad for Elias. They come up with nothing better for you to do than this. And then John Cena gets a whole lead-in with a fucking Babe Ruth video. The guy's from Boston. What the fuck does he care about Babe Ruth? I don't understand. When it comes to guys like Cena and Roman, it's just fucking ridiculous the level that they do for these guys. So Cena slays Elias with his words and ends up giving him an FU. It's not an attitude adjustment, it's an FU. Okay? And that's it. That was it. That was John Cena's appearance. He didn't come save us and help Kurt Angle and give him an actual respectful match. No, he came to word life us. Fucking great. Shawn Michaels is brought out as a special guest commentator for the Triple H versus Batista matchup. I really was not into it. This match was pretty much a hardcore match. Triple H pulling out chains and all kinds of crazy shit. He went absolutely berserk. He had Dave Batista in the middle of the ring, and he had a pair of fucking pliers, and he's trying to pull the guy's fucking fingers off or something. I don't know. It was terrible. First he had a wrench, and he's wrenching his fucking fingers with an actual wrench, and then he's using pliers, and then he fucking ripped Dave Batista's nose ring right out of his fucking nose. And then ate something. I don't know if it was a piece of Dave's skin or if it was the fucking golden earring. Did he just throw it in his mouth and just fucking chomp a gold earring or diamond earring, whatever fucking Dave's been wearing nowadays? I don't fucking know. In any case, Triple H brings out the sledgehammer, and it was great to actually be there and see the sledgehammer live. Not that I was close enough to really see it, but it was great to know that I was in the building at the same exact time that Triple H needed a sledgehammer. I was there, and he might not have called upon me. He took my skinny little brother with the black hair, but he did it. I'm losing my fucking minds tonight, people. Triple H wins. Surprise! Did you think Drax the Destroyer was going to win and go back to Hollywood and make Guardians 3 and the Avengers Endgame Part 2B or whatever it is? No, of course. Kurt Angle's farewell match. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle was not changed. It was not changed. Nobody saved us. Nobody gave us a decent match. All we saw was Baron Corbin in the ring with Kurt Angle. I apologize for that. In his farewell match, and he loses. And he loses to fucking Baron Corbin in unceremonious fashion. Corbin didn't fucking do anything to win this match, really. And Corbin didn't do anything to deserve even being in this spot. The guy hits a fucking end of days and a deep six, and that's it. That's his whole thing. He didn't even change out of the fucking bellhop uniform. You think you'd put on some special gear for WrestleMania? No, I'm just going to put on my fucking general manager's suit and go to work. Making Kurt Angle lose on this night was a terrible decision. I know, and I hear fucking idiots around me going, well, he's going to pass the torch, you know, he's going to pass the torch to Baron Corbin, he's going to pass the torch, you guys. Pass what fucking torch? Kurt Angle don't have a torch. Kurt Angle's fucking torch has been burnt out for years. If Kurt Angle's passed his torch to me, I would take his fucking torch and throw it in the garbage. What are you talking about? Well, he's gotta lose. He's gotta lose. He's a legend. He's gotta lose to the new guy. You know, he's gotta lose there. No, he doesn't. He's Kurt motherfucking Angle. He's the only professional wrestler to earn a gold medal in actual wrestling. No, he's got to leave with his shoulders to the mat. No, they don't. Not in his case. Some people, sure. But not in his case. He should have walked out victorious. Especially over this fucking mook. Holy shit, you guys. Don't even get me. These are the kind of fucking fans I'm sitting around. This is the kind of shit I gotta hear. Discussions being had around me. You fucking kidding me? Well, it makes sense for Corbin to beat him, you know. It makes a lot of sense for Corbin. Do me a favor. Go back to the fucking toxic waste dumps of Staten Island or wherever it is you're from that has infected your brain to the point where you fucking think that it's acceptable for Baron Corbin to have the win at WrestleMania over Kurt Angle in Kurt Angle's last match. Because it's good for the business. It's so good. It's good for the business. No, it's good for the business. It shows the guys. Shows the guys that the WWE don't give a fuck. Shows the guys that Vince McMahon still thinks Kurt Angle ain't worth nothing more than a cup of fucking coffee. Cup of coffee in the big time. Fuck that match. Erase it from my memory and from the memory of WrestleMania. The Demon King versus Bobby Lashley was not short enough. But at least we got Finn Balor as our new Intercontinental Champion once again. He should have never lost it in the first place. This could have been a successful title defense at WrestleMania. There was no need to do this. But the Demon came out. He had the exact same makeup on as he had on Monday Night Raw. So nothing new or different there. His entrance was weird. I think he was on stilts. I couldn't really tell from my vantage point. I seen him clear as day, but there was so much smoke and shit, I didn't know what he was trying to be. Then he jumps off his little fucking stilts, rolls off, and we have this match. And he becomes our new Intercontinental Champion. And then the winner takes all triple threat SmackDown Live Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, played to the ring by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And that was ear-grating to me and irritating to me, only because that's one of my least favorite songs that the girl has ever done. I don't have anything personal against Joan Jett. It's nothing like that. It's just a bad reputation. I hate that song. And I think the first time I really ever heard that song was in the movie Shrek. And I hated it then. Not because it was in Shrek. Shrek was a fucking great movie when it came out. But that song is just like so... ugh. And then she chose it as her theme song. And I was like, ugh. And now I had to sit through it live at WrestleMania. And I was like, ugh. No, I exaggerate. She was not that bad. She actually played it better, and it sounded better live than it does when they use the recording of it when Ronda comes out. This match was all about Becky Lynch. And if Becky Lynch did not come out with the win here, it would have been interesting to see how the crowd would have reacted. But Becky Lynch gets the win. I want to say it was a little, at least to me in the crowd, it was kind of out of nowhere. It was a little bit unexpected.